Right, hi everybody, it's Ian from the Pot Pickers Band again, and part two of my chat with Mr. Danny Rowlands here.
Hello again.
Pot Pickers drummer. Where can we start? So let's start with the latest bit. So you joined the band about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened there from your point of view, because you got a call from me out of the blue.
I got a call from you out of the blue. Well, I was working, as you know, with a great band going back that I put together, all great lads, all great mates. They told me all about the holidays it was in next year, and my heart went up in my mouth. Excuse me. And I thought, oh, we're all on different pages now. And the very next day, I had a phone call from you saying that Rob wants to leave the band. What are my views on things at the moment now in my place? Because you offered me first refusal. And then I mentioned what's happened. And then you give me an offer I couldn't refuse. So with the amount of work you got on, because I'm a gigging drummer, you got a whole diary of 24 sold out, 23 sold out. Couldn't resist, could I? My only drawback, I couldn't give the band a month's notice.
Right.
I could offer to do the Fridays and Sundays, but we decided between us, no, let's call it a day.
Yeah, sometimes maybe a clean break is often, though it causes a little bit of disruption, it can often be a better option longer term, if you like.
It was a shame, but I thought you maybe were looking for a drummer after Christmas, and maybe Rob was winding down, but with respect to Rob, he wanted to leave straight away, and I didn't want to lose out of a great offer.
No.
So I jumped at it, you know.
Well, good to have you on board anyway. So
Thank you very much.
So what, 2 months now in?
Yeah. I ended going back on the 29th of August.
Yeah.
So it would be
you did your first gig
September the
in
2nd.
Poole, wasn't it? Down at Poole.
The Oakdale, lovely club.
Yeah.
Lovely reception.
Yeah.
The amazing thing is, we were doing different gigs to you, but some gigs similar to you and some gigs same as you.
Yeah.
So it's great to go back in your band with the people that know me from my band.
Yeah, that's right.
And the reaction is, wow.
Because
I love that.
You've got the connection with a lot of the venues that, as you say, because it's common to where we played anyway.
Yeah. Well, I used to manage the band, do all the PR work, and I used to go out visiting people direct, not email. But I invested a huge amount of time.
Sure, I can imagine.
Getting the band organised. Yeah. But I love that. I'm a total nutter. You know.
Well, I think there's something about the sort of building something and getting success when you do it. We all get knockbacks as well, but you know, over the bigger picture is you normally succeed, and you get some wins, if you like. You know.
Yeah,
that's what fires you up, I think, to keep going.
I love results.
Yeah.
I love the chase. I love the yes, it's in the bag, and that's my buzz. And yeah, great band. In fact, if the holidays and time off hadn't come into it, I'd probably still be with them. But because I'm a gigging drummer, you need a gigging drummer with the vast amount of gigs you got. I had no choice. And it's not the first time I've missed the boat, is it?
No, I was going to say there has been a couple of opportunities in the past. Let's go back to that night at Lee Park Club. Can you remember what happened there?
I can remember. I never went, did I? I was all geared up to see you because we've been friends. Me and you have been friends since 2016. We're not strangers to each other. You come along when I was with a fantastic band, the Fendertones.
That's right.
With Mark Bowles and Dave Williams. Terrific band. In fact, Mark's out in Spain now working, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah.
And you come along
with us the other week, actually.
Mark played with us at Strawberry Fields.
For illness and holidays and so on.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Great. Thank you, Mark, if you're watching.
Nice one, Mark. We love you. And you come along to Lee Park, didn't you? Because I was trying to get into Lee Park Working Men's Club, wasn't I? And we met, and I met your lovely wife, Carol, and that was lovely. And we'd already formed this relationship. We were phoning each other, swapping dates and gigs over, weren't we? Helping each other. And the night that you played at Lee Park, I wasn't gigging, which was very unfortunate and strange for me not to have a gig. But for some reason, I never went. And that was the night your drummer couldn't carry on with the gig, wasn't it?
No, that's right. I mean, for people who don't know, we were doing this gig at Lee Park. And about halfway through the gig,
David Eames, wasn't
our
it?
drummer David had a medical incident. And the long and short of it was he was taken off in an ambulance. And so, of course, the gig effectively fell apart. The club were very understanding about it and said, well, just cancel it. We understand. Don't bother. And I said, well, we could play on without the drums, And they said, well, it's up to you. And then sort of, I don't quite know how it happened, whether we said, almost jokingly, is there a drummer in the house? Or did a guy come forward? I can't remember. But a lovely lad called Kevin come along, who was a local guy. And he said, well, I play a bit of drums. I could stand in for you just to complete the gig. So we said, okay, let's give it a go.
Lucky guy.
And that's what we did. And Kevin bussed along with us to the end of the gig, and that was it. And the after story of that is that Kevin hadn't been playing. He played drums in the park. I wasn't playing regularly at the time, and having played with us, he got the bug to get back into it again. And he's now been in the band almost ever since that day, in his own band.
Yeah.
Which is great. And when I see Kevin, when we play in that area, occasionally he comes along or we see him and keep in touch on Facebook and so on.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. And of course, if you'd have been there that night,
I could have jumped up. We'd have been together now.
But jumped straight up. And we already knew each other.
Yeah, because I was between bands at that time, I think.
Yeah.
And there was another time when I rang you. My relations come down from Romsey.
Yeah.
And they knew Ron Gear, and they said that the drummer's going to be having a serious operation soon, and they're looking for another drummer.
Yeah.
So I got straight on the phone ringing Ian, the boy here up. And you said, well, we're not sure what dates or what, but we'll keep in touch and we'll let you know, Danny. And this was your between band stage. You can go from one band to another, but it's all about like a 6-week, 2-month gap or whatever.
Yeah.
And in that time, I'd gone along with another band that offered me a job out of 8 drummers. They come around the following day after my audition, told me I wouldn't know till about 3 weeks. They give me the job straight away. Obviously, I was flattered, so I took it. And then you thought I was sorted, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I was, but I was playing in this pub one night. I tell you where it was. It was in the Phoenix, but that's all I'm going to mention. I'm not going to mention no names or Pat Joe. And I was standing at the bar. The band had all music stands in front of them. You couldn't see the drums, so no one knew I was the drummer anyway. And these guys are saying, what a boring load of old beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
I rang the band up next day and said, I've got to leave. I can't do this no more. But at that time, you'd already got Robin, hadn't you?
Yeah, because what had happened is that Rob stood in for David while he was having hip operations, if I remember rightly. And then David come back, and so Robbie stood down, and then David decided he was going to leave. But in this sort of thing that was going on, Robbie then joined sort of permanently because you were sort of fixed up. Well, as we understood it at the time.
There'd have been 2 chances there, wouldn't there?
All timing, really. And so that didn't happen. And in fairness, Robbie has been very, very reliable in the band, stayed with the band, and did over 330 gigs, if I remember rightly, with the band, up until literally the last couple of months.
Yeah, I was surprised that Rob's a very good friend of mine. We're all in touch with each other, aren't we, on Facebook and that. I was surprised that Rob was quitting. I thought he'd be there till whenever,
Well, these things happen, as we said, bands sometimes, or people in bands, there's a sort of like an end date sometimes, it happens. And most bands that have been around for a few years have had different lineups for one reason or another.
Yeah, well,
it's inevitable almost,
I got a fantastic mate in town, Pompey's lovely guy, Mr. Peter Patterson from the Mafia. He's been putting that band together 35 years. But the amount of people that's come and gone in that band are amazing.
Yeah.
But he still carries that name on, you know.
It's great, isn't it? It's great.
Fantastic.
And,
one of the nicest guys you'll ever likely to meet.
Yeah.
Lovely guy.
Brilliant. And as I say, I sometimes think bands are like a brand, if you like, a bit like I don't know, a theatre show. You might have different actors or actresses playing the parts, but the show's still the same show.
This is the brand, isn't it?
And I think you could say the same about the Pot Pickers band. You know, the band's brand, if you like, is playing music from the 50s, 60s and 70s. Who actually plays in the band can vary. Obviously, there is a settled lineup, but there are occasions where people leave and been replaced, and other times there's a deputy for illness or whatever. But the brand is still the same one.
It's still the Pot Pickers. We proved that the other week with Mark and Crawford. When we were covering holidays and sickness.
That's right.
But no one's indispensable, are they?
No.
And some people walk around thinking they are. A terrible attitude to have.
You have to be flexible. There's no doubt about it. You know, because things can happen at the last minute, and you know, I hate cancelling gigs and I hate letting people down. But
that was not in my vocabulary.
That's right.
You know, when you're managing a band, the last thing you want to ring the venue up and say we can't do it.
No, absolutely not. No, it is not. So. But you know, when we look sort of going ahead now, as it were, I mean, you're obviously now settled in the band. We've got a settled lineup.
I've put it in lovely, and you've made it so easy for me to fit in.
Marlowe, you and me. We've got a settled lineup. We've got loads of gigs really. In fact, we're booked up now until 2025 on Saturday nights.
In fact, we're looking for someone that's got a 2025 diary, haven't we?
That's right.
So we've got a 2025 diary, send it along. We need to fill that up as well.
Absolutely. But,
no, this is right up my street. I'm a gigging drummer. You've got the work. I've found 3 great mates. And well, we've known each other anyway, so we're already mates anyway. And Marlo and Graham were great guys, and everybody's made it so easy for me to fit in the band. It just, I'm bedded well in, aren't I? Part of the furniture now, aren't I?
Yeah, absolutely, and, and plenty of interesting gigs to look forward to. Mix of clubs and private events mainly.
And I've come in as a drummer. I'm not coming as a manager. Ian does all that. You do all the PR work, don't you? Do all the IT work. What I know about IT, you can put on the thumbnail anyway. So, but you know, I've just come in purely as a drummer, and I'm loving my new job. And it's great being a Pot Picker.
Great. Well, great to have you.
Thank you very much.
So so I mean, what else can we say? Thinking ahead beyond, as I say, we're looking to mainly play, say, clubs and private events, I guess. Changing the image of the look of the band a little bit, maybe.
We're all on the same page, which is nice, isn't it?
Suits and so on.
That's sorted now, isn't it?
Yeah, different look for different occasions, I would say. Which is good, but I think the sort of smarter image is probably the way to go.
When you come on, like if you look at all the early 63, 64, 65, all the bands on Top of the Pops Ready Steady Go, Thank You Lucky Stars, all wearing suits and ties, and you just, you know, and then we can come down casual in the second set, can't we?
And the music, a lot of the music we play is from that sort of era as well. And
fantastic
I think
songs.
The other thing is that, you know, what I've learned over the years is that we aspire to do a lot of the sort of bigger function type gigs, or, you know, and people don't want people turning up in jeans and t-shirts and so on. You know, if you're looking at playing let's say a posh dinner dance or something, to even get those type of gigs in the first place, you've got to have a look and a sound and an image that people want to have there. You know, we've done things like 50th wedding anniversaries and sort of more mature birthdays and dinner dances. You don't want people turning up in cut-off jeans and t-shirts. And it's just not appropriate for.
It's bad enough when you're getting the gear in dressed like that, and they look at you like, "Whoa, what's going on here?"
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And like when I'm setting my gear up, normally I'll wear a cut-off jeans and cut-off t-shirt or whatever. And I've had a couple of places say to me, "You can't walk about like this." I said, "Well, I'm setting my gear up.
Yeah.
I'm the drummer in the band. He said, well, you're going to have to put your coat on. What? You know, I've got all this gear to cart in, you know.
Yeah.
But no, it's horses for courses, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, very much
You know.
so.
I mean, you turn up down the local rock pub and that, and it's great, and everyone knows you. But if you turn up the way you turn up at our gig, that you wouldn't have right in there either.
No.
So you got to dress accordingly for the venue that you're playing in.
I think so. I think
You
that's
know.
the way to go forward.
And with that adaptability, it works, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, I love Razzmatazz and Showtime. So, you know, I'll wear anything. You know what I mean? The only thing I ain't been is a punk. I've been everybody else. So, but I can't imagine me wearing a Mohican.
I don't think we do any punk music.
You know, but you know, but no, it's great, and I look forward to, you know, bedding even more with the band and just, you know, rolling on with those gigs. It's lovely.
Stuff. All right. Well, glad to have you in the band, Danny.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
As I said before,
Great to be appreciated.
Lots more gigs coming up in the future.
Yeah.
And come and see us on our website, www.thepoppickers.com, and on the YouTube channel. And look out for us on Facebook. Next gig is coming up in Bournemouth.
Yeah, Talbot Rise.
Talbot Rise
Fantastic
Club in Bournemouth on Saturday the 28th. I'm not sure when this video will go out, so it might be afterwards. But come and see us in Bournemouth if you're around. If not, we'll see you at a gig at another time. So from Danny and I, thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.